And hello, everyone, and welcome to Metaphysical Sciences TV. As always, I am your host, Mike Ray. We have a few announcements to make before we get to our newest speaker on Metaphysical Sciences TV, and that is that Dr. Gil Tavan's classes on Thursdays will be postponed and only done once a month. Because he is very busy and he wants to put out this content, but at the same time he has to balance between what he does and his work and of course trying to teach out everyone Kabbalah. So today we have a very special speaker who is going to be making more videos. I am lucky enough to know this amazing woman, and as we know, um, that there are people who can see things and can know things that they can not know any other way except through this collective consciousness, this Holy Spirit. And she is one of those people, and she's going to share with us her story, just give a brief introduction of herself. And so, before we get to her, there is just one other thing I wanted to remind you guys about, and that is our past videos. If you would care to watch them, they are very informative of things starting from, you know, I guess spirituality, metaphysics 101 to advanced studies of these types of things. So I just had this picture up real quick before we introduce and bring on our guest speaker, and then we will bring her up. Okay, so without further ado, everybody, I would like to introduce Denise. This is Denise, everybody.
Hi, I guess I'm Denise. I guess I'm just gonna do a little introduction to my story. When I was 10 years old, um, my parents didn't have any money to go see a doctor, and a couple of my dad's friends were doctors, and they said that I just had like a virus or something. I was really sick, and on November 5th, 1999, I went into a diabetic coma and had a stroke. Um, I guess my parents took me up to the hospital, and the doc the doctors just descended on me, and basically they told my parents that I wouldn't survive the next 24 hours. Um, so of course, I I guess my dad called the guy to give me a blessing. And then of course my dad doesn't like people, and there was a bunch of my family up there, and they basically he went in the back of the hospital, and he basically said that he's like, God, why are you taking my 10-year-old daughter from me? And and all he was told was be grateful. And he's like, how can I be grateful for this experience? How can I be grateful that my 10-year-old daughter is gonna die? And I guess he was told be grateful for the short amount of time you've been able to um to have her in your life. So my dad basically fell on his knees and expressed gratitude. It was snowing. There was a bunch of snow on the ground, but he still fell on his knees and he expressed gratitude for the short life experience I was able to have with him. He goes back in the hospital, and I guess my parents just sat around for like 3 days. And all of a sudden, I wake up. I'm in the ICU. I wake up and I'm like, I look at my dad and say, I'm hungry. And he goes, I love you. I love you, Denise. And I'm like, I love you too. And then I go back to sleep. When I woke up, I couldn't talk um, at all. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything like that. But the weird thing was, I saw things that I didn't see before. I spent those 3 days on the other side experiencing things that were amazing. Um, I um, I guess I didn't want to come back because of how like amazing and beautiful the other side is. Um, but my but I was asked if I can come back so I could help people. So when I woke up on that second day, I couldn't move, I couldn't talk, I couldn't do anything like that. And because I was, um, the doctor says that I'd just be a vegetable for the rest of my life, and I am able to walk and talk and do all that stuff through the grace of God, and I I can see things. I can see the other side. I can see ours. I can see um sometimes not all. I don't like doing this, but I can read people's minds. I get what people want. Like I remember one time, a couple times actually, uh, me and Mike were sitting there, and like I'm like, "You want some of this?" And he's like, "How did you know that I wanted that?" I'm like, and I just look at him, you know. Um, but yeah. So I can. So it's basically I don't have a bell anymore. I have tried to run away from it. I remember people coming up to my dad when I was like 11 or 12, and basically said I would love to switch lives with Denise. And my dad telling me that when I was like 13, like I broke down in tears. I'm like, Dad, I would love to switch lives with anyone because I get to see the good, the bad, and all that stuff. Um, it's not a fun trip. It's not. It's it's not easy, and and so I tried to run away from it for about like 4 years, and I'm just barely coming back into it because I know that God has a plan for me, and He wants me to share my experiences with you guys. Uh, Also, one thing that I've learned is everyone learns at different paces. Everyone learns at they learn the same thing in a different way. They can learn it from a person. They can learn it from the other side. They can learn it from God Himself. And and sometimes it's a physical thing. Sometimes it can be like a spiritual thing. But every person gets at the exact same thing, but in a different way. So I'm probably gonna say things that you guys probably don't understand. I was raised Mormon or LDS or whatever. I do not go to that church anymore, but I thought it's a great church. But just yeah. Um, but like I use a lot of their words because I grew up with them. I had a dad, that used those words, so I picked up on it, and um, yeah. So, anyways, but there's a short little introduction to me. I guess I will be making more of these movies that will be a little bit longer, but yeah. Uh, Goodbye. Thank you for watching, and I will most likely, well, I will be making more movies. So, thank you.
Hey, and thank you very much, Denise, for that very heartfelt and just very informative story, which I know that I have learned much from, and that I know a lot of people can relate to that are out there. and maybe watching this, maybe you were drawn to this video. And I just can't thank Denise enough for sharing her story and starting to get into this again. Because as she said, she felt, God has a plan for her. God has a plan for all of us. And so I think we could learn a lot from that. Also, I just want to thank everyone for watching this video and for hanging in there with us and watching this. If you made it this far, then we thank you very much. And I just, again, I can't express enough gratitude towards Denise for sharing her story. And I hope that it has taught some of you something. And as she said, she will be making more videos uh, for Metaphysical Science TV. So you could find them all here, along with our previous videos and the videos that I'm going to be making on Mondays and Wednesdays and possibly Fridays. So we don't know exactly when the content is going to be coming out, but new content is on its way. So again, just thank you all very much, and we will see you next time. As always, I'm your host for Metaphysical Science TV, Mike Gray, and I wish you all a good afternoon, evening, morning, noon, night, whatever time it is, wherever you are, whoever you are, and whenever you are. Thank you for watching us very much. Thank you.